Want to speak real Spanish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at SpanishPod101.com.
No llores por mí, Argentina.
Hola,
Hola,
¿qué tal? Soy Brenda.
y yo soy Romina.
Somos tus profesoras de español.
Hoy queremos compartir contigo 10 reglas para tomar mate. Today we'd like to share with you 10 rules on how to drink mate. Mate is a typical Argentinian infusion similar to tea that consists of yerba mate, which is the mate leaves, and warm water. It's very popular in Argentina and other countries as well, like Uruguay and Chile. It's a tradition that has been passed on generations after generations, and everyone in Argentina drinks mate. There are many rules and behaviors associated with mate, and today we'd like to share 10 rules with you.
There are a few rules around mate that you must know. Number 1, there's gonna be a cevador, a person that is doing the mate. And usually, sometimes in families, there's someone designated specifically to do the mate. For example, when I drink mate by myself, I drink it by myself, but then when I am with Romy, most likely she'll be doing the mate. So there's always someone that has that role.
Yo soy la cebadora.
So it is considered rude for me to, in the middle of the mate, to grab the mate and actually help myself. Romy is in charge of the mate. When I finish the mate, I pass it back on to her so that she can pass it on to other people if there's other people around, or have it herself. Rule number 2, you are supposed to drink the whole cup before you give it back. So it's not like you drink it a bit and then pass it along or give it back to her, say, oh no, I don't want anything else, I don't want more anymore. You have to drink the whole cup. Another rule, so Romy will give me the mate, and I will say, gracias, thank you.
Okay.
So you say gracias when you receive the mate. Now, if I finish drinking the mate and I give it to Romy and I say gracias, that means I don't want any more mate. So Romy, if there's a group of people, will skip me because I say gracias and then pass it on to other people. And the thing is about mate is around conversations. So you don't want to stop the conversation. Say, I want more mate, I don't want any more mate, can I have more? When is the next mate coming? It's all, mate is happening at an unconscious level, if you want to compare it to something like that, in which mate is moving around. There are certain rules, but the conversation keeps going. Don't touch the straw and don't move it around, because
Definitely don't stir the mate. It's not that sort of tea, okay?
it's not like a tea, and you can see it's really thick. I don't know if you can see it.
It's very dense. There is plenty of water in there, but it's not very watery in comparison.
So you can move it like this, but you cannot stir the cup. And another thing is, what happens if you move it like that? Most likely, the herbs will get caught in the straw, and it will block the mate. So then Romy will have to pour the whole entire thing out and do it again, and she'll be angry. Okay, so now I've finished. I want to continue drinking mate, so I'm just gonna give it back. I can say something like, está delicioso el mate. You know, if you want to compliment the person doing the mate, okay? So Romy has bagged the mate, and now she's gonna pour it and give it to other people. So who does she decide who to give the next mate to? If we were in a group of people, does she go to the left? Does she go to the right?
We do it clockwise, right? So we are going on a circle. So I usually start clockwise, right? So that will be
so there's the left. The left.
Yes, isn't it? I usually, because now you're sitting
I'm sitting on the right,
that's why I'm a little
but
bit
maybe
confused.
we went that way first.
Yes,
so I'm the
exactly.
last person. So sometimes you kind of sit around, you kind of pick your seat based on how much you want to drink mate straight away. I mean, you'll get a mate eventually. But,
there's one funny thing about it, and that's that the first couple mates are really strong, right? So if you're the sort of person that likes a strong flavor, then usually you will sit right next to the left of the person that is preparing the mate. But if you like more of a diluted version of the mate, then usually you will be sitting to the right. And then the other thing is that if you are pouring the mate yourself, you have to be very conscious about who is taking turns, right? Because you don't want to be missing anybody. Otherwise, it's considered rude if you miss someone, and they might complain at you like, "Hey, me pasaste, hey, like you forgot to give me the mate,
You
right?"
skipped me, yes.
Yeah, exactly. And then the other thing is that, for example, if someone goes to the bathroom and is absent for a while, and the round has gone about, when that person comes back, it's actually polite to offer them the first mate, right? Even if you finish the round, or if it's not really their turn, it's because it just came back and they missed their turn. So it's just polite, isn't it?
And then very important, if you are doing the mates, you have to drink the first one. It's actually very rude to pass on the first mate straight before you trying it first.
In fact, if you don't like someone in your group and you want to be a little bit mean, you can give them the first mate by mistake, right? And that's a very nasty way of saying,
it's considered offensive. If you give the first mate without trying it yourself first, then you can adjust the water temperature, or you know, if you add a little bit of sugar or sweetener,
or like herbs, extra herbs.
You know, you need to know what's the right flavor and consistency. As going like, I think it's delicious. I think you like this, compared to just try like giving the first mate away.
And also because, like I said before, the first mate is very strong, so it's important to have the first one because you're washing off the leaves just now. So the first one is not the most delicious one.
I want to show you when is the mate finished. I want you to hear it. It's very rude to make this noise more than once, so be careful. Once you heard that noise, that means the mate is finished. Do not continue drinking because it's kind of rude. It's kind of like hearing someone chewing with their mouth open. You ready? Did you hear that? Okay, this is rude. It's awful. Do not do it. And it doesn't taste good either. And then two more things. How often do we change the yerba inside the mate?
I don't know. I think as soon as the water, like the leaves, these leaves wash off fairly quickly in comparison with other sort of teas. So what happens with this is that you're gonna notice that you're gonna start noticing that the mate, the yerba mate, the leaves start sinking. They go all the way to the bottom. So you see a lot of water and a few leaves swimming around, right? So in that case, what you do, you don't necessarily need to empty the whole cup. What you do is, so you can empty half of it, and then you add a bit more of new yerba to continue the round, okay? But again, that's sort of up to the cebador. Usually they change half of it, but if it's really washed off, they can change the whole thing. Or as the round goes, they can keep on adding a little bit more just to adjust it. And make sure that the tea flavor is there, no?
It's a tough job, right? It's a responsibility. And then the other thing, the last thing that we want to share, there are so many, as you can see, there are so many rules with mate, and people drink it differently as well.
We could be talking for hours.
There are people who are very specific about where the angle of how they put the yerba and where the water temperature, it's a religion sometimes.
Yeah,
we don't have time for that. Like, we just pour it and then.
Or like there is this big debate all across Argentina about the perfect mate, like the right way of making mate, no, like the traditional way.
So the only thing is, if you have the mate and it's a big group, remember people are waiting to drink mate. So even though we're having a conversation and enjoying the conversation, you need to drink it. Just don't hold it forever, right? Because people are waiting to have the mate, and they will say something like, "Hey, che, no es micrófono, no es un micrófono, it's not a microphone. Like, you're not supposed to be doing this, what I'm doing right now."
No llores por mí, Argentina.
Hey, no es un micrófono.
The reason why we don't want you to hold on to the mate for too long. First is obviously if you're in a big group, the others have to wait for too long before they have the mate. And then the other thing is that the longer you wait, the colder the leaves get. So it messes up the temperature, and you know, it's just
it's not a microphone. It's not a microphone.
No es un micrófono.
Muy bien, amigos. We really hope that you like it and you try it. Thank you so much for watching. Muchas gracias y nos vemos en la próxima clase. Adiós.